Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Lois and welcome back to Skybees. In the last episode, we started running some power from there, and we also worked on this guy, the basic crafting table, which doesn't seem too different from the normal crafting table, but it is something that allows us to make more complex things such as, where did I put it? The machine casing, which is going to allow us to get into refined storage and or applied energistics. But before we get into much of this episode, first things first, I haven't uploaded a video in like a week, and there's a good reason for it. I got sick. Yeah, nothing major, just kind of, well, felt like crap and then slept most of the time. So yeah, didn't really get around to recording anything or doing much of anything, to be honest. But I'm starting to feel a little bit better, and I figured this will probably be the first thing I put back up. I have one other video sitting waiting, but I decided I wanted, since I took a little bit of time off to, well, feel better, I wanted to make sure the next thing was recorded more recently, so I can basically say that line. Now, as for this series, I gotta say something. I hate this. I hate our base. The windmill I can live with for right now. I will fix this, and maybe it will change in this episode. Maybe not, because I'm planning on this episode being a little bit of a longer thing for me to do. So I want to make these hexagons, right? These hexagons are really cool, and I still have like frame rate issues. It's a lot better than it was, but I still have frame rate issues. Anyways, these hexagons are an absolute nightmare to make, and it makes me not want to build these hexagons ever. Especially because I need to go back through and I need to make sure that all of them are exactly the same. But there's a problem with that. And it's going to be easier to show you in a different world. So, we're going to save and quit out of this world. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Otherwise, I will cut this out, but I probably won't. And we're going to go into my creative test world. I had a test world just to make sure I could actually play this series, like make sure everything would work and whatnot. But yeah, I really don't like how our base is coming along, and it makes me want to kind of rebuild pretty much everything. And I know, we've rebuilt the bee enclosures many times. We're probably going to rebuild those a lot more before we're kind of ready for it, but this should not take too much longer to load up. I just want to kind of show off kind of the issue. So, making these hexagons, I've been using a hexagon, like, well, it's not even a hexagon. It's just kind of in general a pixel shape thing. And so I made changes over here, but let's look at this pink hexagon. Let me grab another block just to kind of let's grab diamond or something like that. Just something to designate, hey, this is where we're going to be looking from. Let's see, time, set, day. So basically this is the midpoint of the hexagon, and it is symmetrical. So we're just look at this side. You can kind of see the general pattern, but if I try to match that, it doesn't match perfectly. This is what I've been using, and so I get into some really weird situations where everything doesn't work right. And the other thing is, I need to make sure that when I build these hexagons, I do it the same way every single time. So if I was to, build another hexagon off of here, let's use yellow, and this is the line. Let's see if I know how to make these. It's like this or something like that. And then 1, 2, 3. It's something like that, and it just doesn't work. But I've discovered I can just break up some stuff. So this is what it would look like if I overlapped them right now, and they don't work. But if I just remove, so there is these blocks, so there's 3 blocks here and 3 blocks here. if I remove... No, it's not those two blocks. It is these 2 blocks. It lines up. And on the other side, it's the same thing. So if I remove this block... No. Wait, hold on. Not that one. That one and that one. It lines up perfectly. So I gotta go back and rebuild all of my hexagons to this schematic. And basically it's pretty much the same. It's just the and then this would be, 5 there. That's fine. That's something I can deal with. But I can rebuild this schematic and it will work perfectly. There will be a little bit of like this, where the one hexagon and the other hexagon don't perfectly match with this hexagon, but that's okay. I can live with that. So that is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to jump back into my other world, into the normal world, and work on that. And so hopefully when I come back, it's probably going to be a day or two, that will be done, and we can kind of see, well, we won't really see anything, to be perfectly honest, but it will be easier for me to continue building. And so I'm going to build out a bunch of hexagons, and then we will start working on what we're going to get done in today's episode. So I'll be back once I've fixed the hexagons, fixed the base, and done some more work. Alright, so it is a couple of days later. Yeah, that actually happened. And I don't remember exactly what I was saying last, but I have completed the repairs on the base, and all of our... yes, that's right. No, that's still not right, actually. Okay, so I thought I could have completed all the repairs. I think it's just... It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and then I think it's just this. I do have some cobblestone on me. I think that's all I need to do. And that should be fine. Yeah, that looks right. There should never be a 3. That's all that I know. There should never be 3 blocks in a row, other than, this stuff. But, so I have gone around and I have built up most of the base. And as you can see, I ran into other things, but that's fine. So from here on out on this episode, I really don't know what to do. So what we're going to do is look at this. So we're in what, like, not even that many episodes, like 14 episodes, what it says on my little board. We're on episode 14, and we've remade these bee housings, what, like 3 or 4 times now? And so it's time for the final and 5th iteration, because you see this, you see how these bees just don't want to work, and those bees are just butting heads. They still at least work. It's not good. In fact, I don't think I've seen a, I need to take some of these out. I don't think I've seen a, sand comb in a very long time. So we really need to get that fixed. And what we're going to work on is kind of the future of our base. Now, the hexagons are stage 1. Stage 2 of all of this is making everything look a little bit more distinct. I want the map view of this to look really, really cool. And it already is starting to look pretty cool. But it's not, it could be cooler. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making each and every one of these hexagons different kind of themed. We might have, for example, that is going to be our nether theme. This is going to just be, I'm going to make effectively like a nether area. Nothing too major, no like lava or fire or anything like that. But maybe a patch of soul sand with some, netherwort growing and like netherrack mostly for the floor. And it's going to make things look different than, say, our windmill, which is going to be a lot of farmland and paths and some grass. Or, I don't know what we're doing for our house, I'll be honest. The house is probably going to have some paths, maybe a little bit of grass, but it's mostly going to be wood and, like, gray, because I think we're going to make the house out of wood. But we're going to have a cave. We're going to have an area for magic stuff, which that's something we'll have to get into at some point, which those might be disconnected from the actual hexagon. But yeah, so I've gone through and went through every single bee in the game. There are 63 different types. If you include the vanilla, all of the resourceful bees, there are 62 of those. And if we look at bees, yeah, you can see all of them right there. There is 62 of them, and they're all on this board. Well, my AFK house. So what are we going to be doing? Let's get rid of some stuff first. I'm just going to dump all this stuff in here for right now. I'll sort it later. So what are we going to be doing? Well, we're going to be making apiaries eventually. That is kind of quest, you know, that is the next thing on our quest line, to make the tier 1 apiaries up to the tier 4. And these things are expensive. They require nether stars and tier 4 beehives, which are also just kind of expensive. So like we're going to eventually make these. But in order to make the apiaries, they need a little bit more, because it's a multi-block. It is an extremely simple multi-block, but it's a multi-block nonetheless. And basically, we have to make a big box, a 7 by 6 by 7, so a 7 square that's 6 tall, so that it has a 5 by 4 by 5 hollow interior. And we're going to have bees in there. Now, the neat thing is, if we look at this book, it kind of talks about it, and there's a bunch of blocks we can use. In fact, there's a ton of blocks. We'll look at that in a second. But you can make it look beautiful in the world. Yeah, so I believe so long as any block from the apiary valid tag, and optionally, yeah. So basically, we can use whatever blocks we want that is just a valid block for the apiary. And the neat thing is, you can use the same skeletal structure to build multiple apiaries. So in other words, we can have multiple apiaries for various bees. We're going to have an apiary for each bee eventually. And so, for example, we'll have 5 in this one. Blaze gas, pigment, wither skeleton. And some will have 6, refined glowstone, refined obsidian, fluorite, steel, uranium, and raw uranite. But for the most part, like, we'll have about 5 or 6. That's why they're separated. And we'll try to we can put 2 apiaries on one platform. But if need be, we can always make another hexagon. Why not? And so for that, we're going to want a bunch of things. Now, the Wandering Trader walked by earlier, and I bought some Eyes of Ender and some packed ice. The packed ice was just because I don't know if we'll actually need it. That's really all there is about that one. But the Eyes of Ender are something that we're going to be using because we're going to want more item collectors. Specifically the higher tier, the advanced item collectors. The normal ones we can get with Ender Pearls, not too bad, and Obsidian. So yeah, we're going to have, let's see, we're going to have 2 Nether Apiaries. We're going to have 2 Forest Apiaries. We're going to work on one of the Forest Apiaries today. We're going to have 2 Cave. We're going to have a dark cave for all of our mobs. We're going to have 2 factories, a magical looking one, and 2 that are metal. The metals are more of a classification than like what the building is, the apiary is going to look like, because I'm not entirely sure on that case quite yet. It might be, so we're going to have a factory that might be more mechanism. The metals might be more like immersive engineering. I don't know yet. But let's go ahead and make our first apiary, because I want to get some bees kind of put someplace nice. Specifically, I want the sieve bees to be placed somewhere nice, because something to note is, for example, we want diamond bees. Diamond bees are going to be awesome. We can actually make diamond bees. It's cobblestone bees and coal bees bred together. It's a 35% chance. What else do they produce? Lapis and emerald, and I think 40. Yes, that's it. So diamond, lapis, or emerald is what those 2 bees produce. And so we're going to need, well, all three eventually, but diamond bees would be really nice. However, if we look at what diamond bees want for a flower, they want diamond blocks, and I can make one. So I'm going to do exactly that. And we're going to breed, see if we get lucky. We're going to need some coal. And we're going to try to make our first apiary, but we're also going to try to get our first, I need more stuff. I need things in my inventory. We're going to try to make our first diamond bee because that would be nice. I will set the diamond bee up later. We'll probably use the tier 4 beehive. But we'll get to a lot of that stuff. And like, I'm going to move the apiary. I'm going to build the apiary, but we're going to probably move the bees off camera. I think all the bees I need are upstairs. And we're still going to use this guy for now. But it's going to be a little bit less important. Cobblestone bee. And Colby. Perfect. So yeah, what we're gonna want to do is get a lot of these bees kind of in places. And here's the cool thing is all the bees that require just normal flowers. You know, I've never looked to see what like skeleton bees. What do you guys require? Bone blocks. Wither skeleton bees. Witherproof blocks. You know, a lot of these bees require unique items, which is really nice. That means that they're not going to conflict. But make me a diamond bee. Emerald. Alright, so we're going to collect the emerald bee. I'm going to continue trying to get a diamond bee. I'm going to do a lot of that stuff off camera. I say that a lot, but I am. I have a bunch of different bees. And once we start making some of these... Oops, lag spike. Man, this is... And then darkness. Where is... There he is. Once we start having a lot of these different bees, things will be a lot nicer. I can... You know, once we have the apiaries, I can start, you know, placing the bees and having the automation kind of localized for those 5 or 6 bees. And then we could just kind of build up the base and whatnot. So eventually we're also going to have to like route all the items back to where we need to be and all that kind of stuff. But that's stuff we'll worry about later. So let's sort the inventory out a little bit. And let's talk about these apiaries. So one of the important things to note about these apiaries is that we can use pretty much any block we want. Specifically, if I type in $apiary, this is, it doesn't look like it changed much, but this is all of the blocks that are valid for an apiary, which is really nice. Some of them are weird. We could make an apiary out of nothing but fences or leaves if we wanted to. But we can do stuff like for the forest, we can use stripped oak logs, which is what we're going to do. We're going to have that with glass and some oak slabs. I think that will be fairly nice. We can have, you know, all sorts of Botania items. Doors, we could just make doors, apparently. And there's a bunch of different things. Some of the cool things that we can do. So, for example, we're going to have a nether. For the nether mobs, maybe we'll use nether bricks, and we can use, I want to have almost all of them be glassy because I want to be able to see our, you know, bees. So we could use like nether bricks and maybe like a gray stained glass or something like that. That could be really cool. So there is a lot of neat things we can do. And I've tried to organize the bees in a way that makes somewhat sense. You know, I have obsidian with the nether because the portals, the forest kind of got anything that's just going to require flowers. But, you know, we can decorate inside the apiaries, I do believe. So there's a lot of cool things. Now, once we get to the point of, like, actually building the apiaries themselves, then we can kind of worry about whether or not the blocks are valid or if we need to change things around, you know? That is stuff we can worry about then. But let's grab some dirt, and we're going to grab some wood. And let's go ahead and make our first apiary. Now, there is the question of there's not enough light in this area. Let's go ahead and kind of rearrange some torches. Eventually, I do want to try to get rid of most of the torches, if not all of them. Yeah, you better run away. Otherwise, you would have been dead. I have a stone wand. You know, let's grab a bunch of dirt. This is going to be a forest biome, hexagon, whatever. Do I have any more? No, let's grab a couple more sticks. I love using the wands. You know what? There's no reason to use a stone wand, to be perfectly honest. We have as much iron as we could ever want. So let's go ahead and make an iron wand. And let's get this area covered with dirt and then lit up. And then I'll go back over it later with get some grass growing and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we have enough dirt. But yeah, so we can just fill in all of this. And shouldn't have too much of a problem so long as we have enough, we don't have enough dirt. Okay. So the next kind of question is, where's my dirt? Where do we put these apiaries? Now, we can very easily fit at least 2 on each hexagon. I don't think that is a problem. Now, whether or not we want to is a different question, but we definitely can. All right, let's get some torches. Just kind of light things up for now. Like I said, I will get grass on here later. But, so we need a 7x7 structure. And for all I know, we can put it into the ground. I just don't know that we can use, I mean, I don't see dirt on here as a valid block. So the bottom is got to be something else. We can use farmland, which is kind of weird, but I don't see dirt. And I can check that with, let's see, F3H gives us the advanced tooltips. Don't use this for bees in general. But yeah, this is not a tagged item, but logs are. You can see underneath the control, it says resourceful bees valid apiary. So that's what we're looking for. Let's see, F3H, cool, there we go. So the question is, where do we put this? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can fit it right here. But I want to have a little bit of space. We can put it on these sides, like over there and over here. Do like 3 and then something like this. And I think, how do I want to do this for now? Let's go ahead and we'll break into the dirt. So where is the center? This is 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right here. Right here is center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we can just do that. So that is one side. So let's actually do these being vertical. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. So then we can build up the base. So this is about the size of an apiary. Now, things we're going to want on the apiary is we're going to want to have a door. I was not trying to vein mine. Whatever. Don't mess that up, I guess. So, yeah, I was not holding any buttons to vein mine, so it must have been doing it because of an axe, which means I don't have to vein mine trees. Good to know. Anyways, so what we can do now is we can strip all of these, which is not something I've really done too much, messing with the stripped logs, because I don't play in that version of Minecraft too often. And then we're going to have to go up 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll put lights on those. 5, 6. Forgot to put a light on that one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this we will also go across like so. So this is going to be the basic kind of design for this particular apiary. And we can put these relatively close. Like, there's no real reason not to. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we just need to have a perfect amount of logs, apparently. We just need to strip all of the bark off of these. And then for the top, we're just going to use slabs. And we'll probably want a torch in the middle. But I want just kind of a solid roof. I could use glass, but we're going to use glass on the sides. So this is our first apiary, more or less. So obviously I still need to put glass in on all the sides. And then we're also going to have a door. I think the door should be... Let's see, if this is going to be our house is going to have doors on all 4 sides. So kind of natural path says go this way. And so there might be an apiary right here. Come over here, and I think having the apiaries themselves here and then having access on like this side or this side. I think this side will be fine. And then we just, put glass everywhere. So this is our basic first design for a forest apiary. Now the second one will look different. And I'm going to need a lot more glass, but obviously they're going to have the places for the blocks. And for the time being, we're going to put in the dispensers and all that kind of stuff in the floor with the hives. We'll have maybe a hive here and here. Maybe I'll only do 4 for right now. So we'll have, let's grab, I think I have some dispensers lying around. We're also going to make a bee real quick, a couple bees, because they're going to be useful. Let's go ahead and make the bees real quick. We're going to make the icy bees. So in order to make those, I don't know why I'm like looking. I know what the recipe is. So there is the first icy bee spawn egg. And the second. So that's just something I wanted to do real quick. The icy bees are another one that we can get. I've realized that's right there. So the only ones left that we can like physically make is marble, which we're gonna need to do some work with, snowball, and zombie. So yeah, what we're gonna do for temporary, for the time being, just so that we can have bees in these, doing what they need to. We're gonna have dispensers like so, with a clock in the middle. And that way we can kind of save on clocks. And then we can even put a fifth one right here, for the time being. And just have 5 dispensers with 2 clocks. I don't have to make as many clocks that way. And then we can put flowers all over the edge. And eventually we can get rid of a lot of this stuff. Now, I want to see one last thing before we go. Because I'm going to finish building that, make it all glass. I kind of like the way it looks. I do like the glass. The glass can be changed, though. We could put panes. We could put tinted glass. We could put... Cork has a glass that we could use. So there's a lot of options there. But the bee book, I just want to see... Okay, so it has to be that size. And if we look at the visualization, it should be... Looks like it's that size, so... Okay. It's unvisualized. That should be fine. So, I'm going to finish up this guy and start making this look a little bit grassier, look a little bit nicer, and you know, maybe we'll only do one of those per hexagon. I think that might be better, rather than putting multiple. So we're gonna have to build a lot of hexagons, but that's okay. We separate them out and we can make things look a little bit different. So yeah, that is going to be it for today's episode. I know we didn't get too much done. It was a lot of talking and planning. But this thing is going to make a lot of the bees a lot easier to deal with. If we put dust and gravel and sand and sieve bees in there, they'll actually behave. And I'm going to continue working on just kind of building up areas, making more hexagons. And I think next time maybe we'll start making the house, or else we'll find something else. I don't know. So anyways, that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!